Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and the BeQuest, issue number one. We're going to see how a bit of a mess could potentially be really fun. Let's get talking about this. All right. The first issue is called Roll Initiative. Tim Seeley is the writer, Freddie E. Williams II is the artist, Jeremy Colwell is the colorist, Marshall Dillon is the letterer, Williams II and Colwell do the main cover, a bunch of variant covers. Let's go from there. This story is basically, in a nutshell, and you can tell by the end with all the character sheets in it, it is a whole bunch of Tim Seeley's Dungeons and Dragons characters who he takes, who basically it is in a Dungeons and Dragons like setting, but not Dungeons and Dragons enough to be sued by TSR or Wizards. It's Wizards of the Coast now. They bought TSR, right? Anyway, this is interesting. Let's put it that way. It's he's had two different dungeon masters that he's played multiple different characters in, and he's putting these characters together probably for the first time, and he's playing all the characters and somebody else is coloring them. And yeah, okay, cool. On the surface of it, it's something that we've seen all the time. You know, people go and they play their Dungeons and Dragons characters, and oh wow, cool, cute. You know, saying you decide to put in a book form. Has anybody ever gone and played a game, or you're asked to play a game and somebody's like, okay, but I need everybody to sign a release form? Like, who's signing release forms for? Well, because I'm running the story and I'm running the game. I'm the dungeon master, but you know, and you guys get to play in this world, but I'm going to turn this into a book, and I just want a release form so you guys get to play in this incredible world that I've made, but you're not going to get any royalties for the book. It's like, yeah. No thanks. You never want to play with somebody like that, because at the end of the day, they're going to be upset if you do something completely off script. You know, unless they're a dungeon master who's okay with you, you know, like me, you know, or they're okay with a character like me, you know, a player like me who's, you know, oh, you're doing something that I completely did not anticipate you were going to do. Huh. I'm not here to play test your book. And if I do something that's completely off script that you have to work for to get back in script, then I want some of the royalties because I just made it interesting. You know, say like at the end of the day, it's not worth playing with somebody like that. All things being what they are, in this particular case, this is just Tim taking a bunch of his beloved characters and putting together in this world, and then, you know, basically playing Dungeons and Dragons. But there's got to be a twist, right? Because if that's your pitch, no thank you, you know? So his pitch apparently is, but these Dungeons and Dragons characters get moved to a different time period. The way that it works is actually interesting, because they have to, a little bit of a spoiler, they have to fight a dragon in a dungeon. And this dragon is fighting them, but it's not, well, he's fighting back, but he's not fighting against them. He's fighting against a completely different threat. When you see what's happening there, that's when this, for me, this otherwise boring book suddenly becomes really interesting. Now, unfortunately, the book continues after that, and it's a little weird because the narrator type character, he's different, let's just say. You know, I kind of like him. I kind of don't like him. He's kind of freaking weird, but there's a bunch of stuff that's happening that I don't know. I don't know if anybody else has ever played this game before. I think that I'm kind of numb to it because I've ran a campaign like this before and have actually had characters play in a campaign like this before. If I do review issue number 2, I'll explain what that campaign was, what happened in that campaign. In the meantime, I can't say it's a bad idea because, well, I had this idea, you know, a while ago, and people played in that kind of a campaign. So yeah, I'm going to have to say that it was good. Damn it, he backed me into a corner. Damn you, Tim Seeley. But for the most part, it's a good pitch. But everything that happened here was the mandatory setup, the actual story, and to see if the story is actually going to be good, you're going to have to get issue 2. So I'm not saying that I will review issue 2, but I'm probably going to review issue 2 because I got to see if this is going to be any good, right? Jim Zub can't corner the freaking Dungeons and Dragons market, goddammit, all right? Tim Seeley's been consistent enough that I think that he can pull this off. But this is like the difference between can I or may I, right? So will he pull it off? I don't know, but I'm confident, more than confident, that he has the tools to pull it off. This is it's something that in many ways we've seen before because we've seen Conan currently by Jim Zub pulled into the modern day universe, right? We've seen Red Sonja pulled from her Dynamite universe into the modern day universe, right? And we've seen this with so many other characters before. In this particular case, we're seeing it with what are clearly expendable characters pulled into a modern day universe. So sword and sorcery versus machine guns, right? And the police. That's going to be fun. They're going to look like LARPers who are serious. This could be good. And I'm hoping, obviously, that it will be. But we're going to have to read the next couple issues to see. Anyway, guys, that's really the best I could do without just spoiling the whole goddamn thing. There are more intricate details in here, and you'll see the gaps being filled. And then from this point on, that's where the actual story is going to be told. The art in this was, I don't know that it was spectacular, but it was really great for the story that we're getting because there is magic in here. There is time travel in here. And to see these things actually happen while actually being able to see characters who are very distinguishable from each other, probably not the easiest thing in the world to do. But Williams II does a great job of that. It's very cartoonish. That's okay. I think they were trying to capture a little bit of the magic of the old Dungeons and Dragons cartoon that used to come on Saturday morning cartoons. Does anybody remember when there was just Saturday morning cartoons and not the Cartoon Network and everything else that's out there? It's like if you wanted to watch a huge dose of cartoons, you had to wake up at about 5 a.m, make your own cereal on a Saturday, and just sit down, and that was your life until around noon, maybe 1 o'clock, right? The next day, all you were getting is Soul Train and Kung Fu Theater. Not such a bad mix, but come on. Anyway, this is something that I'm looking forward to seeing the next issue on. All right, so the nostalgia is certainly there. I'll talk to you guys later. Enjoy the book, and Gotham Central Comics and Collectibles, Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. Go check out all the information that's up here to see where you can get this exclusive cover. All right, 1 in 300, baby. 1 in 300. All right, y'all. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.